echoes of the ruby red river that flows through this darkening concrete, devouring ghosts afloat by. I'm with them, up in the current and taken in whole. I've been struggling, strangling, others in tow. Have my eyes gone missing? Imagining sequences, playing back visions by stereo air and fragmenting emissions. I'm lost and found in the loneliest thing in the shape of a fist that I wish I could bring in this bitter abyss. Is my petrified heart still pounding? Out on the balcony, reaching out to design this epiphany and what the sidewalks will do. And I just, in the process, it's the means to the end. It's the glass bottom vessel and depths it extends to the spans between us. If I could, I'd cut through the cables and cords, but I'd never
What can I do
be
for you?
able.
Or the
My life's
Alliance,
at the
filled with honor,
table
friend.
with
Light
yours.
bless you.
Immortal. Nothing is sacred and nothing is sure anymore, except all that you are and stand for. Guide me toward your portal. Your portal. Your portal. Your Don't tell me it's a bad thing. Being with you is distracting. You'll be everlasting on my lips. your small manipulation of the palest invitations. Test the limitations of my grip, of my grip, of my grip, of my grip. Guiding me home, my only weapon. I was alone, you were a big city. When I got lost in, and when you spoke with me, I fell open.
You need something? Farewell. Be careful.
Did you know that cost when you broke your promise?
Light bless you.
That when your guns went off, they would come down on us.
Greetings.
I was a knife,
Safe
in a
travels.
gunfight,
Light bless you.
and I fought so madly. You were a wolf in the daylight, and you almost had me.
Well met. Be careful.
most at me.
Go with honor, friend.
I thought you were
Need help?
showing all your colors.
Farewell. Light
You
be with
were in sheep's
you. Safe
clothing,
travels.
the mind of another. Can a slave preach freedom? Can a captive take hold of what they believe in?
What can I do for you? See you later.
But did you know the cost when you broke your promise? The way your bones went off, they would come down on us. I was a knife in the gunfight.
All right, so unfortunately so I screwed up. I screwed up big time. I had a level 46 priest that I was thinking I was going to play Discipline Priest in PvP in CataClysm. And I played on a private CataClysm server the last few days, and I've been playing Discipline Priest, leveling him up. I played him, all the way through the low levels, and then I got all the way to level 80 and did some battle rounds at level 80 on the Discipline Priest. And I felt like it was great. It was strong, good damage, good survivability. Because I couldn't remember how Discipline Priest was in the original CataClysm. And I actually did some research, even like looking at Supatiz's video when he ranked the classes in CataClysm, he had Discipline as an A tier, on a tier list as an A tier player. So I'm like, man, if Supatiz has got Disc at A tier, it's got to be pretty good. So I didn't want to level my priest from 46 all the way to 80, which I could have done. Because I got time, right? We got like another 11 days until pre-patch comes out, and then we got I think 30 days until the actual CataClysm comes out. But I just was like, you know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend the next week or 2 weeks every day just queuing dungeons and running dungeons over and over and over again. I'd rather have this character level 80 now and work on getting some honor, doing some PvP, getting used to the PvP with this character at level 80, maybe trying to acquire some honor gear. So I went ahead and I bought the boost. I didn't want to because it's super expensive. It was like $80. I was like, man, I do not want to pay $80. So, but I finally bit the bullet, and I haven't spent much money on video games in a long time, other than I did purchase Dragon's Dogma 2 a couple weeks ago. That was the first time I'd bought a game in quite a while, and probably a good while. And so I was like, I haven't really spent much money on WoW in a long time. I said, well, it's no big deal. I'll buy the boost. So I bought the boost, but after buying the boost and boosting this character to 80, I'm like, all right, I got my character 80. I'm ready to level. Then I made the mistake of going and watching some more videos because I was looking for videos on Disc Priest and CataClysm. And I had spent some time yesterday looking for videos and guides, and I'd found some. But then I happened to stumble across a video by someone who plays a lot of CataClysm and plays a lot of private server, someone who I trust. And I watched his video on the best healers in CataClysm, and he put a Disc Priest on a tier list in the B tier. He said A tier, but it could even be B tier. And he said it was the squishiest healer in CataClysm PvP. And he said that you really struggle against Unholy Death Knights. And he goes, if you get a couple people like in a twos match on you and your partner's CC'd, he's like, you're going to die in seconds. And then it all came back to me. It was like the floodgates opened. Because then I remembered back to when I played original CataClysm, because I played Disc Priest and PvP in Burning Crusade and Arena Season 1. I played Disc Priest all the way through Wrath of the Lich King, and I played Disc Priest in the CataClysm, but I couldn't remember. I knew that there was at one point in my time playing Disc Priest in Arena that I found that they were that I was dying all the time. That I was dying too quickly and that it was tough to survive. And specifically, it was DKs. And specifically, it was DKs that were giving me a problem because they would get on top of me, they would silence me, they would bring their gargoyle pet out, and they would just basically blow me up. All right, they'd blow me up. And there was nothing I could really do about it. And I quit. I actually had played Disc Priest all the way through Burning Crusade Arena Season, all the way through Wrath of the Lich King Arena Season. Played about 3 or 4 weeks into, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I remember, into CataClysm PvP, and I got so frustrated with how much I struggled against certain classes that I just quit playing Arena at that point. I said, you know what, I'm not going to play. I didn't quit playing Arena, but I quit playing Arena on a priest. I went and played something else. I played a different class. So having that in mind, I still want to play Arena on disc. I mean, even though I remember how badly I struggled with it back in CataClysm, but I still want to play Arena on disc. But when I looked at the best, I also went to another guide, and I was looking at like the recommended professions for Discipline Priest for PvP. And the number one that came up was jewel crafting, and which makes perfect sense because if you are squishy as a Discipline Priest in Cata, and you are the squishiest healer, what's the easiest way to make you not squishy? Well, the easiest way to make you not squishy is to stack resilience. And the one profession that allows you to stack more resilience is jewel crafting, because you can get the mega gems, or whatever they're called, the big gems. It's just like if you're like, you can make, I don't know if it's plus 34 stats, but you can make these bigger gems that only jewel crafters can make that have higher stats on them. And so you'll be able to slot maybe 2 or 3 of these big resilience gems, which is going to give you another, maybe, who knows, it's not going to be a ton, but it might be like 30 or 40 resilience, more than you normally would have. And I got to tell you right now, anything that you can get is going to be helpful. So I said, well, and plus I thought if I'm going to try to increase the survivability of a Discipline Priest in CataClysm PvP, another thing that would help would be having the option to slot 2 trinkets. Because when you play the human, you have every man for himself ratio, which allows you to break stuns and CC. That's basically your trinket for breaking crowd control effects. So if I played a Night Elf Druid, Night Elf Priest, like this Night Elf here, I would have to use the PvP trinket that allows me to break stuns. So going Human Priest is going to be a lot better. It's going to give me the ability to slot 2 different trinkets, whatever trinkets I want. And hopefully one of those trinkets would add some more survivability, right? So I decided that what I was going to do was create a new priest at level 1, a human priest, which I should have thought of from the beginning. I really screwed up on this one, guys. But I certainly was not going to level a priest from 1 all the way to 80 in the next couple of weeks. I didn't want to do it. So unfortunately, I had to buy another boost, another character boost, which I didn't want to do. I didn't even want to buy the first one. So we bought another boost, and you can buy a character boost that just levels your character to 80, right? And it's $60. Okay, so it gets worse. It gets worse, right? So I bought that, which I'm kind of sick to my stomach that I had to pay $140 to download World of Warcraft. You know, I'm kind of sick to my stomach on that, to be honest. But we did get 2 characters boosted to 80, and of course we got the whatever stupid shit comes with the package. You know, all the extra mounts and cosmetics, and we got a free month of game time as well, and all that stuff. So it's not only we paid. We do get, you could take $15 off of that, so it's $135. I spent $125, I guess, because you get a month's worth of game time. But I might have encountered a bug here, and I really hope that I'm not. But when you get boosted with this boost, it makes you go into your class trainer, and it gives you a quest. And the quest it gives you is tools for survival, and it says, I prepared a survival kit for you. It contains additional weapons, armor, and rations. I trust you will make use of it. Well, she did give me the kit, and I opened it up, and it gave me this stuff. The problem is, it's supposed to complete the quest. And I already did this on my other priest that I boosted earlier, and it worked just fine. But it's not working now. Oh, it did work. Okay. Whew. So I guess I just needed to equip something. I think before on my other priest, I didn't have the Ebon Griffin as a mount. And see how now it says already owned. So what happened was when I opened the care package with my other priest, I right-clicked on the Griffin to learn this mount. And when I did that, it completed the quest. Well, this time I couldn't because I already knew the mount. These are account-wide. So
Need help?
anyway, so I'm glad that wasn't a bug.
Safe travels. Be careful. Safe travels. Be careful. Light bless you. Farewell. Go with honor, friend. Light bless you. Be careful.
So they make you go through all these little mini quests, to basically let you know, hey, your talents have been reset. You need to fix your talents, et cetera, blah blah blah. Now they want me to go to Northrend. So interesting stuff. All right, let's take a look at our macros. We're gonna need, let's see. Shield me is gonna go. Oh man, why are my keybinds like not looking correct? Oh, okay, maybe they are. All right. So we have a level 60 or level 80 priest. He's wearing some really ugly gear. Okay, so this is the mount, one of the mounts, I guess the mounts you get with your boost, your level 80, or your basically upgrade package that I purchased. So which I feel silly. Guys, I mean, I feel silly. I don't like spending money on games, and it's not that amount of money, so hopefully we're gonna... Wow, look at all these people. Looks like these big PvP are doing stuff. Not sure what's going on.
Home is where the heartache is. So baby, pack up your desktop. Let's piggyback the internet from the Walmart parking.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is get this character in the same guild as my other characters. And the only way to do that is to open up my other account. Because I have a guild bank on this account here, I have a guild bank, but on this other account that I'm starting up right now, I have characters in these guilds that can allow me to invite her into the right guild. So she needs to get put into this guild here, which is the Blue Dragons Guild. It's my own guild. So we're going to G-invite Shady Faith. And now we are in the guild, and we're going to go ahead and log out. And the reason we're logging out is we need to get the guild leader on, which is this character here, the guild leader of Blue Dragons, so that she can promote the character that I just added to Blue Dragons. All right. So all these characters in this guild are all my characters, every single one. And they're all characters that exist, all of them except one exist on this server. So we're gonna promote her to a Blue Dragon. Now that she has the rank of Blue Dragon. Let's move her up the list here. I like to organize my character list, loading screen list by level. So she is the highest level character, and with Faith being second highest. All right, so now we have access to the guild. And the reason that's important is that I'm going to level jewel crafting on this character. So we're going to need access. So you can see in my bank, I've got some stuff. Not a lot of stuff. I mean, I got some stuff, but not a lot of lower level stuff, unfortunately. But we have some stuff we can do to help out there. So I'll be dying a poor time. So let's go to auction successful. But that was it. Let's see if we've got any. I think this character might have some mining materials. So basically, I'm going to spend a lot of time working on professions and trying to get my mage set up with the right professions. And then, that's what, cooking. We need low level. Yeah, it's kind of low level, I guess. Potions, dream vision. And shadow gem will be useful. Okay, what is this? Walking stick, spell power 12.
See you around.
Alright. Oh! And this is the one character that's not in the right guild. Why is Cute Faith not in that guild? Oh, because she's the guild leader of her own guild. No, that's alright. We'll just mail this to the character. Where'd that gems go? Alchemy. I don't think I'm gonna need these wands. Engineering. Definitely gonna need that. Is this character actually a jewel crafter? No, I'm not a jewel crafter. So strange. Ah! Ah, son of a... You thought you guys had a lot of problem with inventory. Sometimes I always think, wouldn't it be nice just to have like one character? Like just to like log into WoW and be like, I only have one character and that's the only character you ever play. Think how much you could actually get done on that one character. I log into WoW and I'm like, okay, I got about 20 different characters and about 10,000 different things I want to do, and yeah, it's quite, it is quite the mess. Let's see. I don't think we have anything here. Nah, this is not the right character. This is my obviously my herbalist character. What I'm looking for is the one who's got all the ore, which I'm not sure which one it is. We'll try Shady Vale. I have so many characters. It'd be nice if you could put like a little note on the loading screen. I wonder if you can, to say like what professions they are. That would be super helpful. You know. Yeah, we do have hearing item.
How are you?
Okay, I don't see any engineering. And see, all I see is a bunch of empty bags.
Safe travels.
Oh, and you can see that in Wrath of the Lich King, it looks like they got rid of rogues, the rogues' necessity for flash powder and all this stuff. It's just pretty funny.
Light be with you. Farewell.
And I am a, let's see, I've got engineering and skinning. Interesting.
You need something?
Engineering and skinning, and yet I have no engineering. Oh no, this is not the real pre-patch. No. I was just some of the stuff. I haven't played this character. I don't think I've played this character since Vanilla Classic. So, or I'm sorry, Burning Crusade Classic. So now that this is Wrath of the Lich King Classic, things have changed between TBC and Wrath. So yeah, this is not the real pre-patch. The pre-patch doesn't come out until the 30th of this month. So 11 days from now. I'm just trying to get some characters ready for the pre-patch. I'm just trying to remember. I haven't played this. This one's Leatherworker Skinner. I'm just trying to see what each one of these. I have so many characters. I'm just trying to see which one has what. Not really a lot of stuff here. I know one of my characters has materials. I guess, is it really my Shady Magic? Would be kind of surprised that Shady Magic, my Warlock, has a bunch of rock and ore, but guess we'll find out. Nope, she's a blacksmith and a jewel crafter. So if anybody's gonna have ore, it's gonna be her.
Hello.
And yes, she does.
See you around.
So we're gonna put this in my guild bank. And my guild bank is very quickly becoming full.
Hey there. See you later. How are you? Safe travels. Hello. Have a good one.
Yeah, should help her out. Ooh, we've got Parrot Spirit too, huh? Why is that not casting? See, I'm like hitting renew, but it's not casting.
Light be with you.
It's like there's a delay. That's weird. I didn't notice that before. You can see I'm clearly hitting this button. Let's see something. That is not good. I'm not sure why this did. It could just be because I'm taking. I mean, I've never. Wow. I'm just gonna have to hold down the shift key longer to get that to work. Normally I can just do shift and tap it, but it's not working. Even standing still. I'm hitting shift and then tapping D and it's not casting the spell. See that? You can see it's flashing the button, but I actually have to hold down shift. That is weird. I've never experienced that before. I just seem to hold down the space for a fraction of a second longer. I'm just gonna have to get used to that. Huh. Or maybe I just used to hold the key shift down a little bit longer, I don't know. Alright, what are we missing? What are we missing? Let's take a look at our bag. We boosted to 80, so there's going to be some spells that I didn't have. Master spell, I have no idea what I usually keybind for that. Probably, I think Shift C is probably a good one. Because we can target it while we're jumping. I don't know. Can't do that while moving. You can't cast it while you're falling, so you're not going to be moving too much. Also, there should be a... let's see. There should be a better way to do this. Without the targeting reticule, it should just be able to hit the button and cast it where my mouse is. Although the targeting reticule can be useful. Let's, wow, Wrath. Witch King. Mass Dispel. Macro. Yeah, I can't make it work in Wrath Lich King. Normally I've tried. Yeah, at cursors. Yeah, but this is classic, so it might work. No, if we're going to do it that way, we're not going to want it on that key. We're going to want it on a different key. C is a good one. I'd like. Yeah, see, it'll cast. It'll just cast wherever the cursor is. Which is different than... yeah, see, this one, it puts the target. So you've got to click it and then click on the ground. Whereas this is going to be faster. It's just going to cast wherever your cursor's at. So, yeah. So that's cool. That's going to have to be on some sort of a keybind that... what was I using T for? I think I think T will be pretty good for that. Actually, C is really good, but what I don't normally I use Fear for C, but I think in this particular instance it might be better. I don't know. It's hard to say. T is lightly awkward when I'm moving. Although you can't cast a spell while moving. So what would be a good keybind? I mean, T's alright. We'll leave it at T for now. Alright, so else we got Interfire is good. All these other ones are used. Mana Burn, yeah. Shackle Undead. Okay, so we're done with that. Abolish Disease, we got. Heal, Holy Fire, good. Binding Heal. That's going to be an interesting one. Didn't I create this? Hold on a second. Pretty sure I created some of these already. I guess not. I thought I did. But really, it's just going to be something like that. Oops.
What can I do for you?
Okay. I'm thinking keybinds for Divine Him. Heals 3. Divine Him. Okay, it's not. Prayer of Mending. Resurrection. My mind control was T. That's what T was. Oh. Ooh, I got a lot of abilities. I've got Mindseer. Mindseer was typically control space. So we're gonna leave it there. And then what we're gonna do, okay, I know. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to, I don't see the macro though. Let's go ahead and put our talent points in place.
I seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. I won't soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. You'll be waiting in vain. I got nothing for you to gain. I'm taking it slow, feeding my flame, shoveling the cards of your game, and just in time, in the right place, suddenly I will play my ace. I won't soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. You'll be waiting in vain. I got nothing for you to gain. Eyes on fire, your spine is ablaze, feeling any forward my gaze, and just in time, in the right place, steadily emerging with grace. Failing any forward my gaze.
How do you spell that? Is it two P's? Yep. Hmm. What was T? I can't remember what I was using T for. Here, hold on a second. Actually, it's not going to come up on this client. Oh, I think it was mind control was going to be T. This definitely should not be here. Alright, so Mind Seer, we've got Psychic Scream, Shadow Protection. Oh, we've got our Fiend too. That used to be... Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with a keybind for that. Hmm. This is a lot of configuration, man. This is why one of the things I don't like about like boosting a character, like even though I had a character that I played all the way at like level 80, it's still like I'd never fully set up like all her skills and macros. It can be pretty daunting. It's a lot of stuff to set up. Alright, so this is going to be 1. These aren't key mount, that's fine. So we have most of our abilities set up. I mean, it's going to take a while to really get used to them. Like, if I want to use, like, Hymn of Hope, I mean, what is it? It's like, how am I going to remember the keybind? I've never used it before. We've got Mind Seer. That, we've got Mind Control, which I don't know what keybind that's going to be. All right, so what keybind? So we got it. I remember like when I played WoW like way back in the day that Shadow Fiend I think was on Control D, but we just put Control D on Divine Hymn. But if I remember correctly, I think what I did was I put Divine Hymn on something else. So what I'm pretty sure what I put it on was, here, let's do this. It's amazing that I can remember keybinds that were like so many years ago, you know? I mean, some of these keybinds I haven't used in a long time. So we go to key bindings here, and let's try. So this one we're going to Control D, and then this one is not going. It's going to be Control mouse button 4, and then this is going to be Shift mouse button 4. Control C. Now these keybinds, these kind of feel right. Now the Mind Control one, probably, I don't know. We're going to put it for the T key for now, and then everything else greater here we're not using. Mana Burn's one of those spells that, yeah, Mana Burn's going to be weird. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. It really should be like on a key that you can hit really, really easily. Binding Hill. We're using Z. Let's put Mana Burn on Z. Because that's a really easy, quick keybind. And then we're going to put Nova on. Nova's got to be on something that also is really easy to hit. So, that's going to be tough. It's got to be on a key you can spam, like, just over and over again. Which I don't know what that would be, because most of those keys I've already used. We don't have A's. No, A's penance. A's penance. Z, C, V. You know what? Let's. I like Nova on. I don't know, man. Thinking. We've got control wheel down, keybound. We've got shift mouse wheel up, keybound. We've got control wheel up as keybound. Wheel up is not. Wheel up is Shadow Word Death, and wheel up's keybound. Wheel down's keybound. Yeah, we have control middle mouse click will be life grip. Yeah, we're really running out of keybinds. I think Smite's going to have to be on something else. I think we're just going to have to put Mana Burn on here. And Smite's just going to have to be a different keybind. Because I don't really use Smite a lot. I mean, there's going to be times when I want to use it, but it's not going to be a super common one. Speaking of life grip. Alright, let's go back to our talent trees yet again. Got pain suppression. We're going to need grace. We're going to need borrowed time. Gonna need penance. Okay. And penance. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't really like Shift C for Master Spell. I'll have to come up with a better keybind for that. I still don't know what I'm going to use for Smite. We've also got... Cool. Okay, so that's not working for some reason. Maybe this is one of those spells where you have to be in a group? I don't know. Okay. Of course, I hit the wrong keybind. I hate the sound of that mount. It's like so annoying. Okay, yeah, so that's what it was. Alright, cool. Okay. The other weird keybind that I actually used to use, and I remember this, but it seems bizarre, and that's that I used to use Shift Q. I think I used Shift Q for me. And then I might have used Shift Mouse Button 4 for my target, but both of those seem really kind of awkward. I can see where I'd use Shift Q for me. That's pretty easy. You know, I can do that while I'm moving. That's not a problem. Alright, I think we got most of our abilities set up. Let's see, I need to know what region some of these abilities take. Like this one, it takes a Divine Candle. So let's stock ourselves up on a shit ton of Divine Candles. Is it Divine Candle or Devout Candle? Because that says Devout. It's Devout Candle.
Greetings.
And it's 20 silver? Jesus. Jesus. Not exactly cheap, is it? How much it look at? So just to compare, like a paladin gets 20 Symbol of Kings for 20 silver. It cost me 19 silver for one of these damn things. That's insane. Give me like 20. How much is it gonna cost me? Over 4 gold. Oh yeah, they don't stack very well either.
Safe travels.
That means I won't be casting these group ones as often as I would like, because they're insanely expensive. Yeah, maybe we will. Alright, let's go back to our talent tree. So we've got, I think, most of our abilities. We still need glyphs. We still need glyphs. And we're still not completely done with our talent build. We got 51 points in discipline, which is not, there's still some that I need to put in here. I skipped a few. I didn't pick up this because I don't think that reflective shield works against players. It says, does reflective, let me ask. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. So this, what does this do? Critical hits create a protective shield on the target, absorbing. Okay. I'm surprised they only put one talent pointer. Critical heals here, absorbing 10% amount healed. I can't believe it. You only put one talent point, but people must really be wanting to go somewhere else with it. Five, 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. 3, 3. I'm missing something here. 3, 1, 2. This one. Reduce the mana cost of Dispel Magic. I'm seeing some variations in this. In some of these talents. The one thing, yeah, I know. Some of these browser windows of this
Hello
crap.
guys, welcome to my...
Yeah. Hello. Actually, that was the window I wanted. That was the video I wanted to look at, and I closed the browsers. Son of a bitch. Wow, Wrath of the Lich King. Okay, I think it was this one.
Hello guys, welcome to my second...
Let's see what kind of... This guy's got 739 likes and 31... So the one that's getting me, the talent that's really getting me here is this one here. A lot of people will go with Divine Fury, but a lot of people go with Spell Wording. I kind of like Spell Wording. I'm not really... I mean, I don't know how often I'd be casting... I'm probably never going to cast Heal or Greater Heal. I mean, I have Flash Heal, because Flash Heal is 695 mana. Greater Heal is way more mana. The only time I'd really cast Greater Heal is if I probably hit Inner Focus first. Heals for 3980. So it is something I could use. And I'm not going to use Prayer of Healing in a group series, so really it would be this one. So, I mean, I could do something like this. Cast Greater Heal. And you can see it healed for 8,000. So I can see where maybe Divine Fury would be good, but I'm not sure. So let's watch this video real quick. Let's see what this guy comes up with.
It helps you and your partners, so 100% 3 points here. You wanna play Aspiration because the personal choice percent is a lot, and then
I see a lot of builds only pick up 1 talent point here. They pick up 3 in this talent. I actually didn't do that. You can see here this talent is Absolution, which reduces the mana cost of Dispel Magic. I actually only put 1 in there and chose to go 3 here because this is really just a mana thing. And again, I'm not doing Arena right now. If I was doing Arena, I could see where Absolution would be much better. But since I'm not doing Arena, especially if I'm not doing a 3s team, then I could see where the critical heals proccing a shield that absorbs 30% of the amount healed could be really, really, really good. Now, there are times when I would want to use Prayer of Healing, so we're going to have to come up with a keybind for that. Like in a battleground where I'm in a group, but the thing is, I'd have to have my windows sorted by groups. Yeah, let's just do Shift C. Because, yeah, that'll work.
it will synergize with Divine Aids, like.
Did he just say Divine Aids?
It's worth to play. You also wanna play Spell Garden. I don't recommend playing Divine Fury because you don't get that much benefit of it. Also because you don't wanna be healing with red heals that much because it costs a lot of mana. So yeah, I would recommend playing Spell Garden, especially for early seasons, because reduce damage taken.
I do agree with him. I do agree that I think Spell Warning is better.
And then we get Death Repair as a base talent, so any raised. And even though if you're Horror Alliance, also wanna play Spell Garden, I don't recommend it. And then percent is a lot.
So I see he's going 2-5-3-1-3, which is pretty close. I've got 11 points left. And let me take a look. 2 of the guys that I looked at only went 3 talent points into this talent here. Which makes me wonder if in this video, if he's not going as deep into these talents. So no, it looks like he's got pretty much all the right things. He's going with improved mana burn. Yeah, looks about right. Well, let's go with spell warding. Oh, I think that was the difference. He only went 3 on spell warding.
TPC on Wrath of the Lich King, we don't. It's not worth to buff rank 1 buffs anymore because they cost the same mana as mass rank. So you cannot be like buffing with rank 1 buffs anymore because you will go on. So yeah.
That's actually an improvement that you don't, that you're not like down ranking buffs and stuff just to save on mana.
This is the thought process about these talents. This is what I recommend for any priest, and I think this talent build will help and will work in any comp that you play in 2 centuries. Like.
So he's going 5 out of 5, whereas a lot of the guys I've looked at, instead of going 5 out of 5 on Holy Specialization, are going 3 out of 5 on Holy Specialization, and they're going 5 out of 5 on Spell Warding. So, I mean, do you want more crit, or do you want more damage mitigation against spellcasters? That's really the question there. And I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, crit is nice, but spell damage reduction is also nice. So I think we're going to go, just to try it out, we're going to go 5-5 here. And we're going to go Desperate Prayer and Inspiration. Now we're still going to need a keybind for Desperate Prayer, which I have no idea what I'm going to use for that. I'm running out of keybinds, guys. And I still have 2 unspent talent points here that we haven't used, so we could just go back into the Absolution. I don't know why I have these 2 extra talent points, whereas some of these guys don't. 2, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 5. What's different? 3, 1, 3. There's 2 here. Yeah, still, it seems like... Oh, he went with the improved mana burn. Yeah, I'm not going to go. Let's just go here. I'm not going to mana burn too much just yet. Alright, cool. And I have no idea what my gear looks like. This is like boosted gear, so it's probably total garbage. Right? It's probably like shit. So this will be our first battleground. Let's just do Call to Arms. We'll see if it actually pops. I don't have Smite keybound either. I don't know. Hmm. Well, this PvP queue isn't coming up anytime soon. That's not good news. I don't know which photos were. Oh man, this kind of sucks though. Like, I would have thought that the Battleground queue would be a little bit more lively, although it's not that late. That's kind of disappointing that I popped a queue for Battleground, especially like one that's like, you know, it's like Call to Arms, and there's like, it's not popping. Let's just do random. Okay, let's not do random. Let's do random. What a bummer, man. I'm still mad that I boosted 2 characters. Because if this server turns out to be a dud as far as PvP, then I'm going to feel like I completely wasted my money. It's cool. It's cool how this mount navigates when you jump down a hill. That's pretty cool, actually. Wow, it actually has a nice levitation. You see that? Impressive. Let's see how much damage my character does. Not a lot. Just testing out the DPS, waiting for Battlegrounds to pop, which they're not popping. And these mobs are level 68. I should be like annihilating these mobs. Like, they're level 68 and I'm level 80. So that's kind of scary. Oh god, WotlK Valley. Shit. It's like... I don't know why, like, I just thought these servers would be packed, but it doesn't feel like the server's packed, you know? It's funny, the person's writing about like this is, oh, they're a mage. I guess I'm not a mage. I am not a mage. How much health do I have? Oh my god. My health pool sucks. This priest has 26,000 health. I've got like 11,000 health. Well, maybe 13,000. Okay. Yeah, Reptilian, I messed up, man, big time. I ended up spending way more money than I planned on. I messed up, dude. I messed up, Reptilian. I paid an $80 boost to get my one priest, and then I realized that I probably didn't want to play the Night Elf, which is fine, but then I realized that she's got 300 professions, and I figured that I decided I wanted to go jewel crafting and probably engineering, and I didn't want to wipe out her professions, so I was like, well, let me start a new priest, and I don't want to level that priest up from, like, you know, so I'm just like... Where's my... Oh, I don't have Shadow Word Death, do I? I don't think I keybound that. Shadow Word Death. Long story short, I bought two boosts. I screwed that up. The boost experience so far, I don't know. This is the first battle run I've done. I spent like literally 45 minutes just mucking around with, because you know when I boosted, I had all these abilities, so I had to set up all my macros. I had to get All my stuff kind of set up where I wanted it. So my character's, it's really weak though. Yeah, but so I basically spent 140 bucks though, Reptilian, which is like insane. That's like, I mean, not 140 because 15 is the monthly sub, right? I'm not sure how they're going to work that into the monthly sub. So it's not 140, it's $125. But that's a fucking lot of money, dude. So I'm not really happy about that. Well, the thing is, you don't really need to hit max before pre-patch. You can still just, yeah.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
What is up with my fucking keybinds, dude? Mouse wheel up. Toggle user interface. Where's toggle score screen? That's what I'm looking for. Well, I get this crazy mount, Reptilian. That was worth 120 bucks, right? The mount. Did we win? I think we won. So I now have, I don't know how much money I have. Oh, I got 5,902 honor for that. Oh yeah. But yeah, my gear is garbage. My gear is really bad. I mean, these guys are like level what? Like level 68 or something, and I'm like 80. And I still can't kill them quickly, you know what I mean? Trying to... What did I use? Okay, got most of the keybinds kind of where I want them. Anyways, yeah. I think I did queue for a battleground. It took like 8 minutes for the battleground to pop, which was a little disappointing. But I mean, I think, hey Reptilian, I think going with, I think I made the right decision as far as going with. Why did I cast a bubble on myself there? That was really weird. Hold on a second. I must have accidentally shift forward. Well, I would have hoped it was faster. I think queue time should always be 5 minutes or less. If they're longer than that, I get a little bit. I don't like it. If they're over 10 minutes, I really get pissed. But yeah, I mean, 8 minutes isn't like horrible. I do think this mount's pretty cool looking, but let me see.
Would you like
I
to
am the
purchase
finest
something?
wires in the
Maybe a
land.
special purchase? Very well then.
You wish to buy? Trade.
Okay, Wrathful, and geez, it's only 24,000. But these are probably the items we're going to want to be getting, at least to start off with. Let's see if it's better than, like, how much better is it than the. So take a look at the items they gave me from the boost, and you can see that that they had 49 intellect. So the intellect isn't bad, hit rating's not bad, but the spell power is garbage. You know, 13 spell power versus these bracers, which have 106 spell power. So that's insane.
Safe journey.
But anyways, what was funny is I had what started this all, and I'm going to show you what really screwed me up here. I played on the private server, right? I played on the private server. And I'm going to go to bed here in a minute because I'm really tired, but I played on the private server. This one here, and I felt, you know, I even played Disc Priest at like level 80, and I felt really, yeah, it's a huge jump. Yeah, the gear they boost you with is pretty much garbage gear, which is always the case, the boosts. But I played on the private server, and I felt very strong as a Disc Priest. I felt very tanky, and I thought, okay, Disc Priest must be pretty decent CataClysm. Then, what I did was I watched a video by Metrics, and Metrics has played a lot of private servers, so he's played a lot of CataClysm, he's played a lot of Wrath Lich King. So this guy, and he's really pretty good PvP player, so he has a very good idea of what's decent in PvP. You know, he's very knowledgeable because he's like one of those guys who's done private servers for years and years and years.
List by me, multi-rank 1 arena master, 10 years of experience playing CataClysm PvP, and the specs will be ranked from S through A, B, C, and F tier. Actually, and especially how squishy Discipline Priest is, I would option.
So he went through Shaman, Resto Shaman, and of course he put it S tier, which didn't surprise me because Supati's also put Shaman in the Resto tier, I think. So then he gets to Priest, and listen what he says about Priest.
Not one of the best options. All things considered, and especially how squishy Discipline Priest is, I would honestly put it as low as B tier, although it could be considered an A tier spec since you have some of those top tier. Resto Shaman
I started the video at the wrong spot, I'm sorry.
Is a deserved S tier. Discipline Priest, however, is a different story. Disc got pretty nerfed It's got a whole bunch of playstyles, the way you can play it. You can be more defensive, more offensive. Your healing isn't very impressive. Your bread and butter are power word shields to absorb damage. Then you heal with your penance and flash heal. But you can also dispel your enemies. You have mass dispel as the only class in the game being actually able to dispel crowd control or any effects off of your enemies and your party
But
members.
the point is, when going through this video, he's talking about how squishy Disc Priests are, and it finally like sunk in. It finally made me remember what CataClysm Disc Priest was, because I played PvP in CataClysm. I played PvP in the original Burning Crusade. I played Arena. I played Arena in the original Wrath of the Lich King. I played Arena in the original CataClysm. And all those times I played Arena, I was playing a Disc Priest. And in CataClysm, I ended up quitting the game. And the reason I ended up quitting the game was because Disc Priests were so squishy that I could not stay alive against... Basically, what made me quit playing Arena... And it's not like I quit playing Arena altogether. I still played Arena on other classes, but what made me quit playing Arena for priests in CataClysm was Death Knights. Death Knights would sit on you, Unholy Death Knights would sit on top of you, and you couldn't get away. It was physically impossible. The only way you could get away from Death Knight is if you just happened to get a fear off that threw him the opposite direction. Because, you know, if he's any good, he's always going to have slows on you, like always. It's very difficult to get away from a Death Knight. And what he'll do is he'll hit you. It's not like you can't survive. I mean, you can survive for like, you know, I don't know, a minute or maybe half a minute. The problem is you're going to blow through so much mana doing it. You're going to blow through a shit ton of mana. So trying to play Disc Priest and CataClysm is very challenging. You've got to have a good arena partner, someone that can peel you. And if you play with a rogue who's really good, you know, then you're not really going to have any issues, and you can do very well. So... But going to this video, and I watched this video, Reptilian, and he was talking about how squishy they were, it made me remember how squishy they were, and it made me remember why I quit CataClysm PvP as a disc, because it was extremely difficult. So that didn't make me feel too good about boosting a priest. But I doubled down and said, you know what? I really want to play priest this place, so I'm going to double. So I doubled down, and I said, if I'm going to play a Disc Priest in CataClysm, and if they are squishy, then I'm going to try to figure out how to make them not so squishy. And really the only way to do that is to stack resilience. And I figure I have to go human, because human gives me the option of another trinket, and the other trinket may be something that helps me mitigate damage. So, you know, going with the human just made sense. You know, giving me the opportunity to have multiple trinkets. That is Arena. Yeah, that is just Arena. No, he talks about in Battlegrounds they're not very good either. He actually talks about how Disc and Battlegrounds really aren't that good either. And we'll look at that in a minute. So I decided, you know, I wanted to go human because I want the trinkets. I want the double trinket to give me more options. And then I also want to go jewel crafting so that I can have more resilience, because I can craft the bigger gems that are going to have higher resilience. And then I'm also going to probably go either blacksmithing or engineering. And I was thinking about going engineering for like the hand-mounted pyro rocket, or for something else. There might be some other stuff we can go, but I'm basically going to be jewel crafting, engineering, or jewel crafting, maybe blacksmithing. You get the extra sockets, which would be nice. But because of that, because I didn't want to level my priest. You know, I didn't want to take my priest who's already a enchanter and a tailor and put her in arena, although I could have. I just felt like going with a new priest who has jewel crafting gave me, and who is human, gave me more options on how to make her tankier and have more survivability. But yes, in Battlegrounds, listen to what he says about Battlegrounds.
At the same time, on multiple dots, enemies mentioned mind control. They're snaring, but that's all you really have. Trouble, you're gonna die in a matter of seconds. You're snaring your enemies, and that the opponents aren't able to get to you, because once they get to you, you're in big trouble. You're gonna die in a matter of seconds. You're also lacking any decent mobility. Your PvP set gives you freedom on your power word shield for a few initial seconds, but that's all you really have. Discipline Priest is the easiest healer spec to kill 1v1. Unholy Death Knights are going to be big problem for you, but even
Yep.
feral druids and rogues, arms warriors, all these classes will prove to be troublesome. In 2v2,
So when I watched this video, it all came back to me. Like all my struggles in CataClysm in Arena with Disc Priest, it all came back. And I remembered everything. I remembered that DKs were the worst. They were an absolute nightmare for Disc Priest, like absolute nightmare. They basically just made you burn through your mana because you couldn't get away from them. And then I also remember that Warriors too. Like Warriors were also very difficult because of Mortal Strike. So Warriors were almost as bad as DKs because once they get the debuff on you, you just can't keep your healing up. Rogues were difficult, but they weren't as difficult as Warriors and DKs. Ferals, I just didn't run into a ton of Ferals. I mean, I did run into some, but I ran into a lot more Rogues and DKs than I did ever ran into Ferals. Well, there's just the biggest problem is an Unholy DK is going to get on you. He's going to Chains of Ice you. If you try to heal, he's going to Mind Freeze you to interrupt your heal. And then he's going to summon his Gargoyle. And his Gargoyle does a shit ton of damage. And you cannot, and he's not going to probably Mind Freeze you until he summons his Gargoyle. Because if you try to shackle his Gargoyle, he's going to interrupt that with Mind Freeze. Remember, he can also interrupt with Death Grip, right? So he's got two interrupts. He can move away and pull you to him, which is going to interrupt you. Or he can Mind Freeze you. And Mind Freeze is on a very short cooldown. It's like 15 seconds or something. Also, he can also have a Ghoul with the stun. So he also has a Ghoul, right? So he's got Ghoul. He's got the Gargoyle. So he's got a Ghoul stun. He's got Mind Freeze. He's got Death Grip. He's got Gargoyle. Chains of Ice. It's almost impossible. Even if you get away from them, he's just going to Death Grip you over and Chains of Ice you, and you're basically back into that situation where you can't get away. So you just expend so much mana. Your best bet, honestly, the best bet I found with a Death Knight is to just go all out offensive on him. If you can what I like to do on a Death Knight is I like to get my dots on him right away, and I like to try to fear him right away before he gets his Gargoyle out. And if I get the fear off and his trinket's down, then I immediately go full DPS. I blow Power Infusion, I send my Shadow Fiend, and I just smite him like crazy. And I just try to do as much damage as possible. And because the reason I do that is because I'm hoping that it'll just scare him and get him to move away. And that's one thing you can do with a Death Knight, but it doesn't. It's not the best strategy in the world. But if you can do a lot of damage, you can and I've killed Death Knights in 2 arenas before doing that, but most it's very rare and it's very difficult because their partner's usually going to try to stop those kind of shenanigans. But if you can just do enough pressure to hit the DK so that he has to move off and heal up, then that'll give you time for your partner to set up a kill. So, but as far as Battlegrounds, I'm sure Disc will be a lot better in Battlegrounds than they are in Arena, but
can run with a be troublesome. In 2v2 you have some really good comps that you can run that are actually rank 1 viable even.
So he's saying right there, you can run 2 comps that are rank 1 viable. And obviously the best comp you're going to run on Disc Priest, in my opinion, is going to be Rogue, Disc Priest Rogue, just simply because the Rogue has so much stuns and ways to slow down somebody from getting to you. And usually the problem with the Rogue team is if you go up against a double DPS team, the Rogue's going to have a hard time keeping both the DPS off you. So a lot of times what you would see in Wrath of the Lich King in 2's team is you would see, this is a really, really common team, is you would see DK Retribution Paladin, because Ret Paladin heals are incredibly strong in Wrath of the Lich King. Actually, I'm thinking CataClysm. I take that back. I'm talking about CataClysm. So what we're going to see in CataClysm is you're going to see DK, you're going to see Unholy DK, and you're going to see a Retribution Paladin. And you're not going to be able to kill the DK very easily because he's got ways to kind of stun you and do damage. And if you do get him down really low, when the Ret Paladin is going to try to blow all of his free heals and stuff on the DK, and the DK and the Ret Paladin's damage is going to be super big. It's going to be huge. Their damage is massive. So Disc Rogue, yeah, Disc Rogue is good. Disc Frost Mage is okay, but actually Disc Hunter is probably even better. Disc Feral is good. Any class that has closing abilities, like has really quick closing abilities and the ability to peel, because you need someone to peel you. Rogue's good for that. Feral's good for that because they got the Feral charge. Death Knight actually, surprisingly, would be probably not too bad because Death Knight's got Death Grip and Chains of Ice, so they'd be pretty good at pulling mobs off you. But I think I should try to run 2 as a Death Knight. It never worked out. Sorry, it just didn't work out for me. The best luck I had on disc was really was with a rogue. The problem is that most of the rogues I ran into just weren't good at controlling the other players, and really, really good rogues know how to avoid CC, and that's the difference. But the difference between a good rogue and a bad rogue, if you're running a comp where you need the rogue to peel for you a lot, the difference between a good rogue and a bad rogue is the good rogue knows how to avoid getting CC'd so that he can continue doing some CC of his own. And a bad rogue will just get stun locked or stunned, and he won't be able to help you because he's too busy getting locked down. Yeah, I think Disc DK sounds kind of like fun. So, but I mean, it's going to be really difficult, and I'm going to try it. And if it doesn't work out, and if I find like it's just not working in Battlegrounds or in 2s, then what I'll do is I'll switch gears. And I can either go Holy Paladin, which I've never played a Holy Paladin, but apparently they're supposed to be really easy to play, and they're supposed to be incredibly powerful and almost unkillable in this expansion. So the option would be to go to Holy Paladin or Retribution Paladin, and just do DPS. And then the other option, of course, would be to go maybe Hunter or Fire Mage. But I really didn't. I don't know. I like Hunter. I love Hunters actually. So I don't know. I'd like to give the Hunter a go again. So we'll see about that.
You can run with a Feral Druid or a Subtlety Rogue, which are probably your top 2 comps that you'd want to run, because both of these classes are incredible crowd control and snares, so they make it super difficult for your enemies to get on top of you. Then you could potentially run with an Holy Death Knight, with a Frost Mage, even a Fire Mage, with an Arms Warrior potentially. And for 3v3 you have many options with the aforementioned classes. Any kind of RMP with Rogues and Mages. You can play Vanguards with Retribution Paladin and Holy Death Knight. You can play with Arms Warrior, Marksmanship Hunter, and combine these classes together. In rated Battlegrounds, you're a decent option, not one of the best options. All things considered, and especially how squishy Discipline Priest is.
So he's saying that like in rated Battlegrounds, you're like a decent option, but you're not the best option.
I would honestly put it as low as B tier, although it could be considered an A tier spec since you have some of those top tier comps, especially with Ferals and Rogues. You're able to get to rank 1 potentially, but overall I don't think it's one of the stronger healers we have on CataClysm. Holy Priest, it is still squishy, but way less squishy. It's way harder to kill.
But then he talks about, Holy Priest is not as good, and then he goes into, of course, Holy Paladin, which is S tier easily, and then the final healer, Druid, he puts it A tier. So he puts really Priest as like the worst. And I would probably agree with that assessment, because after watching that video, like I said, it just really made me remember all my experiences of playing Disc Priest in CataClysm. So I'm going into CataClysm wanting to play Disc Priest, but I know that I need a backup plan, because if it doesn't work out and it's not good, I need a backup plan, and I have to decide who's going to be the backup plan. Right now, we've got Retribution Paladin is one option, and then I think out of the classes I've played, probably Retribution Paladin or Hunter would be my go-to. I don't really want to play a Rogue, even though I love Rogues. I just don't feel like it. And then I don't think I can do Fire Mage, because Fire Mage is just, it's one of those specs that you got to play quite a bit to get good at. Yeah, well, that was funny, because he actually had Druid heals listed higher than Disc Priest. And if you go to... If you look at Supatiz's video on it, I'm pretty sure that he also listed... So that was Metrics as a take, and like I said, he's got a ton of experience playing Arena and Cata, so he would know. But if you go to
I think it's over.
if you go to Supa's video, and Supa obviously knows WoW PvP very well because he's been a PvPer for a long time, and he also announces. He does the Arena World Championships announcements at BlizzCon and different events, so he's extremely versed in PvP and the different classes and what they can do.
Overall, it was really tough just with overall throughput to come through. Everybody was struggling. Most people gave up on this. So if you're a Resto Druid main and you really want to play Resto Druid, unfortunately, A tier, you get Predatory
He's talking about Resto Druid, Rebzillion.
swiftness, instant clones, although this is not necessarily, necessarily completely new to Feral with Cataclysm from Wrath of the Lich King. It's still a really powerful and potent mechanic. You do a tremendous amount of damage in terms of pressure. I'm going to be throwing Feral Druid up onto the A tier. It doesn't have anything that I remember that's completely unique to something like Retail WoW, aside from the instant cast Cyclones, but its overall performance was really good. Combinations like Feral Druid and Death Knight were pretty scary combinations for 3v3. Guardian Druid, I don't remember anything happening with Guardian Druid. I don't think that it was strong in comparison to Feral Druid or Blood Death Knight or some of the other tank specializations that were in PvP, so I'm placing it down at a D tier. Resto Druid, unfortunately, was not great in this expansion. I would probably debate it to be the worst healer overall. It was really tough just with overall throughput to come through. Everybody was struggling. Most people gave up on this. So if you're a Resto Druid main and you really want to play Resto Druid, unfortunately, I think Cataclysm is likely going to have to be a pass. I just remember it being not competitive with all the other healers. Beast Mastery Hunter, again, similarly, I don't remember anyone playing Beast Mastery. Most people were playing Marksmanship. It had a lot of instant crowd control, a little bit of the points obviously into the survival tree, but I don't remember any dedicated Beast Masteries. I feel like this is when Beast Mastery fell off from Wrath of the Lich King. So Beast Mastery Hunter is probably not something that's going to be, something really worth checking out, I think, with this expansion. Marksmanship Hunter, on the other hand, though, this is when it first transferred over into using focus as opposed to mana, which gave it a lot of on-demand damage. You didn't have to worry about resetting your mana or running out of resources. You had a huge amount of instant crowd control. You had pets that had abilities like Monkey Stun, where you'd sit on an island taming monkeys. Now, assuming that we are using the final patch tuning in the first patch, you're not going to be able to do that, but you still have some of the most instant cast crowd control that you can use on multiple targets, which enables you to just control.
Honestly, I hope they do use the final patch, and I hope that you can't do the monkey stun, because it's like the play style for that's really stupid. You basically end up with like 4 monkeys in your stable, and you'll pull one out, and when he dies, you pull out another one. When he dies, you pull out another one. And I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer to just pull out one pet and use that pet, as opposed to I don't have a problem with pulling out different pets for different types of things. Like maybe you have a pet who's got a root, that you can pull out if you're having trouble getting someone, locked down. Or you might have a pet that has poison because he does, it's going to ignore like plate armor. But to have to pull out the same pet over and over again just to pull off like some sort of special ability they have just seems kind of a little bit kludgy.
Control the fight way more than you can on Marksmanship on Retail, which is why I think Marksmanship is a way better experience on Cataclysm. And if you play Marksmanship Hunter, you really got to give it a go to see for yourself all of the benefits that were provided to it in this expansion. Survival Hunter, again, because the talent trees are shared, they're like a mixed tree. You're going to play some combination of Marksman and Survival. I don't remember anybody playing like maybe my memory of Hunter isn't serving me exactly, but I wouldn't say that Survival. It's either Survival and Marksman were like very similar in identity. I think Marksman was for the silencing shot, and Survival was more for like some of the the roots on your traps, and I think the Wyvern Sting as well into that. But I don't think anybody was really a dedicated Survival Hunter, so it's probably somewhere down here specifically. Arcane Mage,
I think it's cheesy.
The start of Cataclysm in its original release was absolutely disgusting. But since we're using the final patch, I could see it being squishier and not as good. It was still pretty straightforward, just spamming Arcane Blasts. I don't think that it's going to be like the highlight mage specialization. I actually think probably Arcane on Retail is going to be a little bit of a better experience than Arcane on Cataclysm. So putting it kind of like middle of the pack, maybe a little bit lower than middle of the pack for Cataclysm specifically. Fire Mage, on the other hand, this is like one of the best times to have ever been a Fire Mage throughout PvP.
Yeah, Fire Mage.
I remember WotlK playing with Seranus and playing Balanced Druid Fire Mage, and you would just melt people with Combustion. Combustion was a damage over time effect that you would be stacking up your dots and then blast and then spread onto the entire team like a wildfire and just melt everybody on the team. Completely unique flavor, amazing, fun, unique play style. We're shoving this one up onto the S tier. It's a really powerful and good one. Frost Mage, this is another one that's really fun and a step up from Wrath of the Lich King. You can use Cold Snap on offensive abilities like your Orb. And I remember fighting like Mitch Jones in Cataclysm, and he was just he'd send out his orb, he'd cold snap, send out a second orb, he'd use some combination of like deep freeze, blanket, and you would just absolutely tap people with ice lance. It was a really big powerhouse. I don't think it's as flavorful as Fire Mage was in terms of a unique playstyle. It's still kind of similar in the sense on retail with builds that you've got. So it's going to be a little bit lower, but it was definitely a very good time in Cataclysm to my memory. Paladin was kind of like a counter pick healer. It was particularly good into like the Hunter comps and the Rogue comps, where Resto Shamans would...
Yeah, I'm heading to bed here in a minute too. But yeah, if you haven't watched this video, check it out. I mean, he actually puts Disc Priest. Here, let's go to the Disc real quick.
It was a really good spec. The Guardian of Kings for tankiness and defense, Inquisition to boost up your damage. It was a good time for Ret Paladins.
He's got Ret Nest here.
Although, maybe it wasn't noted as much as Resto Shaman in terms of its overall competitive viability, you'd still see it pop up. Particularly, I remember Soda healing Ret Paladins and Unholy Death Knights together, and RMP, Rogue Mage Priest. I think that it was still good. I think it was a really fun healer overall. I'm going to be slotting this one up onto the A tier. Holy Priest, I don't remember seeing any. Again,
but just the fact that Supa T's put Disc in A, it's hard for me to believe that Disc can't be good when you have it in the A tier. The thing with Disc Priest that makes it challenging, though, is you've got Mana Burn, you've got Power Infusion. The thing with Disc Priest is you can win a match with a Disc Priest like within the first minute if you have a partner like a Rogue who can just pull off a really good stun lock. So, like, let's say he gets a sap on the enemy team in a 2s match, he gets off a sap, and then he opens up with a cheap shot. You can immediately, and let's say he opens up on a cheap shot on their healer. It's like a 2v2 team, and they've got a healer, and our team has a healer, being me, of course, on the Disc Priest. And so he saps the guy. He's cheap shots the next guy. You immediately can go to Power Infuse Mana Burn if it's like a healer. You can get off at least 2, maybe 3 Mana Burns before that team realizes what's happening, before they even realize what's happening, that they're even being Mana Burned. Of course, once you get later into the seasons, everybody knows that you're going to be Mana Burning. They're going to be ready for it, but and most of them will be ready for it anyway, because it's no surprise now, the game's been out so long. But yeah, if you have a Rogue who can pull off some good CC rotations, you can win the match. Because if you pull off, let's say, half a mana bar, like at the beginning of the match, especially if it's a class that struggles with mana, like another priest, then you can pretty much chalk it up to almost a win already. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is different perspectives. I think that is true. I just know that I really struggled with Disc against DKs. Like, I mean, mightily struggled. And you gotta realize in like these TBC, I could solo rogues. Like if I could dual rogues with Disc Priest in TBC and kill rogues. That's like how strong Disc was. And then in Wrath of the Lich King, I don't remember dueling in Wrath of the Lich King that much, but I remember it still being pretty strong. But then you got to Cataclysm, and just you couldn't do the same stuff. You weren't as strong. You weren't as tanky. But we'll see. We'll see. It may take. I mean, the honor it takes to get those items was like a lot, though. It was like 20,000 something. I did get 5,000 for winning that battleground, but that was that was the first battleground win that I had. So I don't think I could continue to get that amount of honor, per win. So, anyways, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys. I'll be trying to probably do more battlegrounds tomorrow. I may, if I feel like, I may still go on to Deathwing and the Cataclysm private server just to play around with a Hunter again. I'm still not 100% sure that Hunter isn't something I don't want to try. Even though I played the Marksman Hunter, but it wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. It was okay. It was very strong, of course. But I don't know. I'll have to play it. I don't know. I'll play it again. I'll catch you guys later, man. Everybody has a